Hi everyone, this is Shyla with Pet Grooming by Shyla and wanted to share with you my friends that we're going to work on today. These are two little Palmskies. This is Sage and this is Kira. Kira. They're getting baths and light trims and we will see how they do today. Pet Grooming by Shyla, just letting you know, this is a little Palmsky I'm working on today. This is Sage. We're going to give him a bath. We're also going to work on his sister, Kira. She's also a Palmsky. She's the black and silver type. And we're going to give them a really good bath. They're really thick furred, so we're going to be brushing them out and doing a slight trim on them today. So let's get started on this bath. I always start with warm water. And you want it close to their body because you don't want to be spraying them like this because they're not a truck. So be close. It's less scary and you don't get it in their eyes and their ears and stuff like that. I always rinse the coat thoroughly, get any excess dirt off. Plus, when I go to pour my soap on there, it doesn't just drain off the dog because dog fur has a it naturally deters the water, so that's how we try to get them wet first, so it will suck in the soap instead of just having it drain right off their coat. So today I'm going to be using a juniper scent. It smells amazing. It's made by Aromacare. I highly suggest it. What I do is I pour it on. It's all really dilutable, so I always mix them in those gallon jugs. And we just start scrubbing away. Let's see, just start scrubbing away. Because he's so thick furred, I want to get my fingers down into his coat. When I go wash around the face, I'm going to cut my hand and I'm going to take the soap where I want it to go instead of just draining it, pouring it directly onto his face. Same with the top. I cut my hand and just place the soap where I want it. Make sure you wash all the way down into the toes because that's the dirtiest part of the dog. It's in the dirt all day long. You'd be surprised how many times I've seen people wash dogs and go to rinse the dog and I'm like, oh, awesome, it's clean. And I give it one more check and the feet are still dirty. So be sure to clean the dog's feet the best you can. Wash his little tail. Scrub the insides, under his belly. Clean in between those pads. You'd be surprised what dogs catch in those pads. So this dog has quite a bit of poop stuck to his bottom. Don't freak out. You don't want to try to rip it off his bottom like immediately. So what I do is I just apply the soap. Let it get all sucked in. So it's sucking all the soap. And then by the end of the rinsing period, it'll soften up and it'll be easily to slip out with just a comb. So we'll come back to the bottom, look on it. See? I always take the tops off and use just the nozzle because I always use food with my hand. So wherever my hand goes, the water goes. Now that he's all rinsed off, let's get some conditioner. I use Refurbished. Smells amazing. Lasts on the dog for quite a while. I have owners tell me that a week later their animal still smells good. It is dilutable, so you definitely want to mix it. I think it's 16 to 1. Oh, it's 32 to 1. So it goes a long ways. You don't need much. Just get it through the coat. It really helps make that thick fur very manageable to work with. If you notice when I pour it, I'm always cupping my hand and catching all that excess soap that's draining down their body, so I can just smooth it out all the way around them. Turn around, Sage. Oh, good boy. Definitely put it on the back legs. So it's like a very thick area in a Palmski. And with that bottom, so at the bottom, seeing how he had poop on his butt? Now that he's been washed and rinsed, it's just literally sliding out. It's not very comfortable, is it? No. No. Alright, it's all conditioned. So now let's rinse thoroughly. It might seem like it takes a while to rinse the dog in the conditioner, but please take the time to rinse the dog thoroughly, because if you leave a soapy residue on the coat, it can irritate their skin, causing rashes, hives, hot spots, and just downright uncomfortable issue. So take the time. I think I'm getting more in the back than Sage. Kind of wring him out a little bit. Just gently wring them out. Just gently. Just like that. Every dog loves to be towel dried. So towel dry them as much as you can before you take a dryer to them. Definitely start with the face, because most dogs hate their face dried, so you definitely want to towel dry the face as much as possible. On Sage. I'm going to start drying him in the tub because he's got such thick fur that it'll contain his fur in the tub area instead of just getting it all over the place. I mean, it's still going to get all over the place, and not nearly as bad. The tub itself will catch a lot of the hair. When you go to dry the dog, have the dryer close to the dog. If it's far away from the dog, it won't dry it as quickly and as thoroughly. So take your dryer and put it close to the dog. Plus, it's not as scary. Avoid the ears. Now that I know that the hair is not going to blow everywhere, I'm going to move him to my table.
Be sure to keep the dryer close to their coat. In this picture, I am explaining to you to put your hand around the leg as a cuff motion. Put the dryer against your hand and it will cause a swirling effect with the wind and dry the leg in all different directions to make it twice as fast.
Now that he's getting a lot more drier than he was soaking wet, I'm going to use this paddle brush to help brush him as I dry him.
Point the dryer down the coat as the hair flows. Brush the coat with the paddle brush. With the drying effect and the brushing, it creates the coat to break up any mats and undercoat that might be stuck in the
this
coat.
area.
It makes it much easier and twice as fast to dry and demat.
By using the he likes to sit down a lot, so I simply place my hand underneath his belly to help support him stand up. I turn the dryer down to red. I cup the ears close, inner ear and his mouth, ear canal, and I simply rub it. Not damage the ear canal itself. So with Sage today, we are going to give him a light trim because it's getting close to winter and the owner's going to be fluffy. So, but he does have quite a few mats that we can address, like this area and this area. And with that, we are going to be using this raker brush. I call it a raker brush because in my opinion it looks like a rake. This is really great for pulling out the undercoat. And while brushing him, don't just as hard as you can, as fast as you can, because you gotta remember that the dog's fur or the dog's skin is very sensitive. So as you move along, wherever the rake might stop the dog's fur, simply kind of work it through it gently. If you come across a mat that is completely stubborn, you can grab a brush like this. It's a cutting blade. They're kind of designed like a comb with blade ends, so you can get through the mat, stick it into the kind of mat. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find the mat and simply work it back and forth. And what it does is it helps break that mat apart, so it's easier to brush it out. Okay. A lot more gently than it would if you didn't have anything to cut it through. While I was drying him, I also brushed him, so I was able to get a lot of mats out of his coat, so we didn't have a huge matted mess to work with. It definitely helped speed the process of brushing him out. Now that I have him pretty well brushed out, we're going to start trimming him. I'm only trimming him to make him have a cleaner look, not going to make him shorter, just simply cleaner. So I'm going to trim around the ears. He's got really scraggly ears. I'm going to trim around his feet. So as you can see, they're pretty scraggly. So I will just give him an all hook to him. Instead of taking length off, I'm just simply giving it a clean up. So starting with the legs, I'm gonna back up a little bit. I always pull the leg out and give it a little shake. It makes the hair foam naturally, so it's a lot easier to get a good, cleaner cut. And I always start with having the leg up when I'm trimming it, and then I'll place it down and give it the natural shape of the leg. You're okay, Sage. So with his feet, I'm not trying to make them bald. I just want to take off this fuzz. So what I do is I go in between the toes and grab that hair that's in between the toes and just simply pull it up. Voila. Then I take my scissors and I simply trim it. Trim around the nails. And with the nails, you can either pull the foot forward or go backwards, whichever the dog or you are more comfortable with. Place your clipper against the pad, nice and flush with the pad, and it will give you exactly the right amount to trim off the nail. You're okay. You're okay. Having the front nails is pretty scary to a dog, so always reassure them. The front nails are always scarier to a dog than the backs, because they can see what's happening. Yes, they can. And all this fuzz under here, I'm just gonna simply clean it up.
And then grow it out, and then ship. I use the strongest everything we had on that dog.
Okay, edit, remember? I'm giving the belly a nice clean cut. I'm simply cutting the fuzz, but keeping his fluff. Cut with the grain of the fur, so I'm cutting down to give it a natural lay. With his back legs, I'm not going to shave this area because I want him to look natural back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush it all out, and I'm going to give him kind of a sanitary cut. Keeping my hand underneath him helps him prevent squatting. Sitting down so I can get the job done. that. What's a lot better than having the fuzzy butt over here. And with this back leg, when you go to trim the foot, just simply lift it up and let it rest in your hand. You don't want to take it out too far or too far out. You just want him to have a natural lift of his leg and just let him naturally settle it on your hand so he's comfortable and you don't damage any tendons that might be in his knee. Get him to stand again. Stay, Sage. Stay. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the back foot as we did with the front foot. Toes. Bring up the hair. And we're just going to cut the hairs to where the foot is a natural shape. A nice rounded cut. Now trimming the back feet, I prefer to take it from the back. Again, flush with the pad with the clippers, flush with the pad. And just take off the hollow part of the nail. That way you don't have the risk of cutting the quick. Trim the foot from the front, like this. But again, keep the knee and the leg at a natural hold for the dog, because it's not about your comfort, it's about theirs. And you do not want to damage this tendon, this ACL that goes through their leg. Alright. So as you can see, he's a much cleaner shape to him. He's not all raggedy like he is on the side. This side he's got fuzz everywhere. His legs are all long. Much cleaner look. So while grooming the front of him, I want him to have that nice shape of the palm. A nice full chest is the main area. And his ears. I want to keep his ears a rounded shape, but I just want to trim the fuzz that is coming off the ends. And then I'm going to cut downwards on his face so it gives that natural flow of his fur. Calling the dog's name and making different noises definitely brings the attention. So you can see where the hair is naturally laying on the face, around the ears, and you can see what you've missed. Sage. Sage. So as you can see, this ear is much cleaner looking than this one. I like to cut the inside of the ear, just at the tips, because all this hair actually protects the ear itself. You can trim it, but don't make it bald. Now working with his belly, I don't want to shave his belly. I just want it to be nice and clean. So I'm just going to trim around his private areas, so if he goes potty, it doesn't get all over his belly. And I'm just going to make it shorter around You can also get to the belly by lifting the leg and trimming the legs. Again, let him hold his leg naturally in a comfortable position for him. I'm basically letting him rest his leg on my hand. I'm not forcing him to bring it out in an uncomfortable position by too forward or too back or too out. He's just naturally comfortable the way he's holding his own leg up. Given him his all-around cut, but now I'm gonna go around and just check to make sure that he's completely nice and even all around him. These dogs naturally hold their tails up, so you want to make sure this area is like perfect. When grooming around the back, always continue to flip their tail up because that's how they naturally hold it. So you don't want to like trim the whole area and want their tail down because that's not how he holds his tail when he's running around natural. He naturally flips it up. So just keep naturally flipping it up and you can have a better look at how it will look. Alright, so on his belly, I want to make sure he's completely groomed, nice and even. So I'm going to stand him up. Come on. That way I can see what I've missed. The insides of the legs, maybe a little bit around here. His belly's nice and sharp, around these private areas. And I can also see the areas that I've missed on the legs. I trim this area when they're sitting down because when they sit down, they can have like crazy hair that sticks straight out. So when they sit down, I know the only time I want you to sit down. Here, sit. When they sit down, I like to see what their hair looks like when they're sat, so I can just trim the crazy hairs that are just sticking out of place. Again with the feet. Always go back and check, spread the toes in between and just check to make sure there's nothing hiding. Even though you pulled the hair up from underneath in between the toes, just spread the feet and make sure that you've gotten everything. Again, you can trim the nails in front of the puppy or take it to the back. There's two to the front and now I'll show you two to the back. Some dogs actually react differently to different positions. If you have a dog that is struggling with taking it to the front, try it to the back because what they can't see doesn't scare them. So having you cut the nails behind them, away from their view, will actually help with the nail cutting process. And remember, the front feet are always scarier than the back, so you shouldn't have as difficulty with the back feet than you would with the front. But that's not all cases. So. Again, spread the toes, make sure you got all those crazy hairs that you may have missed or possibly a hidden sticker. That looks pretty good. I'm going to trim this foot. brushing a tail, always find the bone of the tail. Keep your fingers in between the brush and the bones, because you don't want to brush over that area because it's extremely sensitive to any dog. So I find the bone and keep my fingers in between the bone and the brush as I brush the fur. Okay, buddy. I have some hairs on his bottom that are really driving me crazy because they just look so choppy. So I'm grabbing these scissors. They really help cut the fur to where it looks natural. It really helps cut the fur to where it looks more natural. It helps get rid of those lines that I've been fighting with my other scissors. See? Doesn't take much off, but just enough to get rid of the lines. Voila, Sage is done. He's such a handsome puppy. You're a good boy. Always check his ears. So when cleaning a dog's ears, you want to use, I use Pro Ear. I've loved it. I have been using it for about 9 years now, and I absolutely love it. Always put it on the paper towel or whatever type of material you're using. Apply it onto the towel and simply wipe out the ears. It helps dry up the ears with any water that might have gone into the ear canal, but also helps clear the wax and dirt buildup that are in the dog's ears. Sage is done. She's the sister to Sage. She is a lot fluffier, a little more timid, but just as sweet. And she's basically getting the same haircut as Sage. So we're gonna just be barely trimming like the crazy hairs, like around her face, her chest, her ears, her legs, her belly. She will be getting a little bit of sanitary cut on her bottom and tapering down her legs. So let's get started. Look, Kira. Kira. Pretty girl. So I'm going to show you how to trim her nails. You can either go to the front or to the back. Let's see how she does with the fronts. So she seems to be pretty freaked out, so I'm going to try going backwards to her back and see if it helps. She's the type of dog that doesn't like seeing what's happening. So by taking it behind her, she's not watching. By taking it in front of her, she's seeing what's happening and it freaks her out. When cutting her nails, I'm going to lift her paw and I can either go to the front or take it to the back. Back nails are actually a lot easier to do than the front nails because the dog isn't watching what's happening and dogs don't like seeing what is going on in front of them. But she did really good. Oh, yes you did. So I finished Kira. I pretty much did the exact same thing as I did with Sage. I trimmed around her ears, her legs, and just gave her a nice cleanup. trimmed her belly area.